Well, I want to invite you to make some soup with me. It's Friday, and I've started something on Fridays where I cook some extra food and I offer that to my friends and family who are interested. So I just thought it would be fun to do this with you because I'm having a lot of fun since getting on YouTube and finding interesting people. And it's just motivating me to want to share more of my everyday stuff. So I'm trying out different microphones, but they don't seem to be working. And I'm using my iPad just to film myself right now. So in these little behind the cookbook scenes. So bear with me because I'm, just sorting out my technology. And I had fun the last few days doing the unedited video challenge. And it kind of just inspired me to just get on here and just share. I'm not doing it live right now. I considered that, but my Wi-Fi connection where I am in the kitchen is not really strong, so I don't know if that's going to work very well. So I just wanted to talk while I'm picking my meat apart because today I am making some ham and split pea soup. And so yesterday I took some ham roasts, some organic ham roasts out of the freezer, and I slow cooked them all night in beer and apples and onions and garlic. And now I have this roast meat that now I'm just going to pull apart, and it's going to go in my soup. So I like to do things from scratch, and every ingredient that I use that, I take from nature, I guess, my garden or from my farm, because we raise animals here that we do butcher, and it's not an easy process, but it's part of nature. It's part of being in this world and living with nature and being nourished by the things that the Lord gave us. So I like to do things from scratch. I like to do things my own. I like to have my hands on everything, because when I do that, I'm putting my love in it. And it's one thing about fast food or food that somebody else makes for you, that, a stranger, maybe they put some love in that. Do they use the best ingredients? What is the intention behind what they are putting in the food and what they're offering to you, to us? I think that cooking at home is a very powerful and revolutionary in this day and age thing to do. You take the best ingredients you can and you put your love in them, and then you feed that to your family, and your family eats it, and they eat your love. They are nourished by your love, and it's an overlooked treasure that's just right under our noses and right in front of us. So that's why I'm doing this. And I was thinking a lot about this morning. I got up early, and I get up early and I do my scripture reading and prayer and journaling. And I went on YouTube and I found a woman just doing some worship time this morning. And it was so cool because she was saying, I didn't feel like showing up this morning, but I made myself do it. And I just was so grateful that she did, because I just happened to find her channel this morning and click on it and start listening. And she said some things in there that I really needed to hear. So I'm so grateful for that, Like when we are walking blindly in faith, we're, we can be led right exactly where we need to be in the moment. So I wish that you could smell this right now. It smells so good because it was slow cooking all night, and the apples and the beer. And I don't like to drink so much, maybe in my olden days that I did plenty of that, but now I think alcohol is best for cooking with, because especially with meat, it breaks down the texture a bit and softens the meat and just tenderizes it. And the alcohol evaporates, and you're just left with this really delicious meat. So it smells pretty good. And my husband brought home 2 50-pound bags of apples and recently, and so I'm just trying to figure out all the different ways to use them and preserve them and enjoy them before they go in the wrong direction. So, but anyway, I wanted to just talk a little bit more about showing up, because what I'm doing today is I started this about a month ago to offer meals, hot meals, or pre-prepared meals for family and friends. And ultimately, I'd like to do that more publicly for my community. But until I have my certification by public health to do that, then I'm just, trying to feed my friends and family good stuff. So I have to say, it hasn't been like everybody's, breaking down the door to come over and get what I'm cooking today, but that's okay. I'm a little bit shy, and it's hard for me to market myself, to put myself out there, because I would rather, honestly, just be a wallflower and be in the background and not be noticed and not draw attention to myself. And I really feel like that doesn't serve anybody. If I have a talent for cooking, or I have knowledge or a skill, or I just have a heart for hospitality or service, or, then I really need to be sharing it. Because if I don't, I'm just wasting, I'm wasting an opportunity to love on someone and to care for them. Something just as simple as sharing a meal, is pretty powerful, I think. And, as I've been working on this YouTube channel to share family favorite recipes, there's, like I've mentioned in other videos before, like I'm doing it for a number of different reasons, and there's really countless reasons that I think it's important that we don't overlook we don't take for granted our foundations and where we came from, and the people that we've been put amongst in our lives, people in our family. So you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. And I know there's lots of people out there that don't have good family lives and don't have good connections with their family members. And I think that sharing a meal, or sharing a good food, or sharing a recipe even, is a way to make connections, really important connections, because we all need to be fed. We all need to eat, and we all get hungry and we all get lonely, and sometimes we just want to feel that connection. So like sharing a meal, or knowing that somebody made something with their hands and they put their love in it, and that makes a big difference, I think. And maybe it's not a difference that anyone can see, but I think sometimes you can taste it. I think you can taste love in food. It's why growing a garden and growing our own food is so amazing, because we're basically loving it from seed until harvest. And then when we pick that fruit, or when we even when we have to butcher an animal that we have, we know that we gave the best of it that we could, and we loved it, and we gave it attention, and we talked to it, and it's filled with our good intention and our presence. So it's why I'm really passionate about gardening and really passionate about cooking and making things from scratch. And getting, it's really important for me too to get my hands in it, to be connected to what's, the physical here and the impact that I can have in the physical. And I guess the other thing I wanted to say about showing up is, even if nobody else is showing up, like, for example, I can cook a big meal and have nobody show up. But it's not really, at this point, maybe, or ever, it's not really so important, because when I'm starting, and when you're starting something for the first time, just consider that, like, it's good to build the practice of showing up even when nobody else is showing up. So like, if you aren't willing to take that step this morning to do that one thing, then who's going to know what you can do for them, what you can offer? And so I've just started, yesterday I said to my husband, it was noon, and I was like, okay, I have to make a decision about whether or not I'm doing this meal tomorrow and what I'm going to make. And I need to decide, like, right now, can you please help me come up with an idea or whatever? And, part of me was just hoping that he'd say, oh, well, don't bother, take a break. But he didn't. He just came over and he gave me a hug and he said, whatever you do and whatever you decide will be just perfect. And so I just made a decision, and I sent out my little email to my friends and family and said, this is what it is. And so the other thing is that, like last week, I remember I didn't have anyone come on Friday to grab my food. But what I did do was I packaged it up anyways, and I was able to give some of it to some people that showed up, for other reasons, and or package that to a neighbor who's, going through a difficult time, and then on the Saturday morning, somebody contacted me and said, do you still have something I can grab from you? I'm so hungry. And so I did. But if I hadn't shown up Friday and committed my day to just making what I planned to make, then I wouldn't have had that available. And I think also because I talked about this yesterday in my my little video about eating an elephant one bite at a time, about doing things that you don't feel like doing. And I really want to, like, I really have a vision of feeding people, feeding my community, people in my community, and gathering food that's grown right here where I live, like in the region, in the community, by local farms and by even local gardeners who, you know, in the fall, there's often, or anytime in the summer, the growing season, there's often like a large amount of, sometimes too much, more than you can handle. And I would like to start to gather, or start to become known as a place where people can bring their excess produce, and then I can transform it into products or hot meals that then can be given back to the community. So I am, for the last several years, I've been trying different things to, you know, supplement our household income. And I have to say, I'm not very good at it. But it's learning to be, I don't know, business minded, but I'm more, you know, I find it difficult because I'm not motivated by dollars. And years ago, I was working, I had a good career, a good job, making good money and all that, but I was so miserable. And at the time, I know I didn't appreciate what I had, but in my discontent, I made a lot of decisions and changes in my life, and now I'm working on being the best wife I can be, the best mother I can be, and a good friend and a good community member. And like I said before, I feel like I'm talking about myself too much, but I hope that, you know, you can have more of a glimpse of my motivation behind what I'm doing here on YouTube. And for a long time, I've always consumed video on YouTube. And for a while there, I was like, I just got to get completely off the internet and just get real, you know. But I think now what I'm seeing is there's a community of real people who I think have been are disillusioned by what the world is offering, and just want to help, just want to show up and help. And it can be like in so many different ways. You can help someone, even just by sharing your reality, sharing your personal challenges, sharing, you know, your faith, sharing what you're doing, what you're passionate about. And, you know, there's a lot of different ways to help people. So many different ways. As many people there are, that's how many ways there are to help people. So I guess what I want to, you know, impart to you is that don't think what you're doing is not important. Because even if nobody sees it, I believe God sees your heart, and the things that are done in secret, He will reward openly. And so the heart that you're putting in, the time that you're putting in to doing something good, to taking care of your family, to sharing the good fruit of your life with someone else, that's really valuable stuff. And it's something that, you know, in this world, we try to commodify everything and put a dollar amount to it. And some things we have to, you know, but, you know, at the same time, life is very precious. And the time we have in our life is very precious. And you can't really put a dollar amount on that. So instead of chasing after dollar bills and chasing after money, I think we should, you know, well, I can't speak for anyone else, but it's my heart that I can pursue the things that are lasting, and intangible even. So I don't know what more to say about that, but I think I'm just gonna not edit this. Oh, I'm at 21 minutes. This is insane. Well, anyways, like, for example, I'm making this soup, you know. I spent the night slow cooking that, and now I've spent 20 minutes picking the bones and the gristle off my meats. And I'm going to be slow cooking my soup and cutting my vegetables and all that, and then it should be all ready for supper time tonight. How much time and energy did I put into it? Will I ever get that dollar amount back? Well, we live and we die, and we can't take our money with us. We don't bring any money with us into this life, and we don't take any money out. So what you do with your time is so precious and so valuable, and how you're generous with it makes all the difference, I think. So that's all I have to say about that. So I wish you a beautiful and blessed day and a great weekend and a great month ahead. I'm super excited to see we have just over 40 subscribers. It's just blowing my mind, you know, how that's working. And I'm going to be, I hope in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be able to sit down with my son and we can do a video together, just talking and sharing our process so far. And so I'm just hoping that we have the opportunity to do that. And so it'll be fun. So thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.